To see you here, everyone. If you would like to share with us something, you can unmute and share and ask questions. Cindy, good morning. Happy to see you here. Rodrigo, how do you do? Did not hear you for a while. How is the weather, Fernando, today? Jill? Hello, Jill.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine. How do you do today?
I'm doing good. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. It's pretty, it's sunny here, but it's really, really cold. So sitting in the sunshine kind of warms everything up. It's like 16 degrees here.
Oh, so you're waiting for the snow. There's like cold which is building up for the snow, for the coming snow.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think they had it in the forecast and then they took it out, but it was a little bit of snow flurries yesterday. It was really pretty. But I don't think the snow is going to come, but definitely the cold is going to be here for a few days.
Here is the same. Snow not, but this year, but it's pretty cold. I mean during the night, but the days are shine. The sun is shining during the day, so it's kind of optimistic feeling for the season. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask. If you want to share something that you read, if you have anything to share, please feel free. Cindy, did you read something? Rodrigo, Fernando? Today I would like to speak about evening and morning. What is evening? What is a morning? Morning is a situation or a moment where or when there is a recognition. It is clear as a daylight. Evening, erev, from eruv, from mix. When things are mixed, we are not certain, we are not sure. So when in Genesis we find the sentence or the verse Vayhi erev, Vayhi boker yom echad, and there was evening and there was morning one day, it's not about the hours of darkness or of light, but two situations inside of us or two modes when we recognize something and or we don't. Just to give you an example, in this part of the year, several years ago, before we started those sessions on YouTube and with friends, I was still trying to initiate meetings here with people from Israel. And it was like this time of the year, so the sun is setting around 5:30. And I supposed to arrive to a meeting. Yes. Arrived to a meeting place when the sun set, and I took a train. And a friend or a colleague or the one that I was supposed to meet, she said that she will pick me with a car from the train station. So I did not meet her before. We just exchanged a text for the meeting. And when she said, when you arrive to the train station and when you go out, please give me a call and I'm on the way to pick you up. It was twilight zone, Erev, mix, because it's not clear. And I called her to say that I arrived and I was waiting with most of the passengers, either for buses, taxis, or picking up. And she said, yes, I hear you. Do you see 4 lights? She was driving a car, let's say, entering the train station, and she was saying, the car that I'm driving, she was driving, has 4 lights, frontal lights. You can imagine in the evening time when it's quite cold and it's might raining, to recognize a car among many, many, many other cars that has a forefront light. And I said, I'm sorry, but I cannot recognize. There are so many cars at this time of, it's time of the road. I mean, time of the day, everybody's returning from work, rush hour. And I could not recognize until she was really, really, we were continued the conversation until she really arrived. I never met her also before. And then it was clear. It was already evening. It was already dark. All of this story just to tell us that like in the evening time when it's not clear what we see or if we catch something, also not just in the evening, there are modes or moments in our lives in which we are not certain or in which there is a doubt. Is it that or is this? It's not clear. Or you see a bus from far, what number? The bus, because the buses, they traveling with lines, and each line has a number, 21, 26, 15. So from far, it's not clear. Only when the bus, let's say, is getting closer, or a car, you can slowly see the number or the direction. So when we find the verse, ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר, יום אחד, and there was evening and there was morning one day. It's not about, let's say, the hours of the darkness and the hours of light, but two modes when before we recognize and after we recognize, and it's sure. So morning is a mode that we are sure in something. There is a certainty. An evening, erev, from iruv, it's uncertain. It mixed. It might be this, it might be that, it might be a third kind. It's not clear. But only those two modes together, evening and morning, uncertainty and certainty are called one day, Yom Echad, meaning one unity. Is this understood? Good. So the days which are mentioned in Genesis 1 are referring to levels of recognitions. There is day 1, day 2, levels of recognition. It's not, let's say, about evolution. This is not a book that Darwin wrote. Yes? What was before, the rock or the tree or so. But it is written from the perspective of our recognition, from our consciousness. Questions so far? Verse in Song of Songs, which is saying, put me like a seal, like put me a seal on your heart. Simeni kechotam al libcha. Put me like as a seal on your heart, because the love is so strong. Why is that so? Why to put a seal on the heart? Because love is so strong. It is often that during the days, during the hours, the thinking has a tendency to spread. The human thought, or what goes through us, has a tendency to spread. Yes? Machashava thought, has the same value as Pharaoh, Paro, and in the letters of Pharaoh or Paro, we could see the root of disturbances. So the human thought has, or what comes through us that we perceive as a thought, has a tendency to spread out, to be not focused. And this is one thing, but it is many times that the thinking is disturbing us. What goes through the brain in many times causing us disturbance because it like offers like baits, and we are taking those baits as true, as absolute true. And this process creates a lot of disturbances inside. It causes us to be in unpeace mode. We don't have peace, we're agitated. And for this kind of happening, there is a verse, beautiful verse from Song of Songs. Simeni kechotam alibcha. This is what the Infinite asks, to be a seal on our heart. That whatever happens, wherever the thinking takes us to those troubles water, the heart, the Infinite is always inside the heart. The heart has peace. There is a seal of peace on the heart. Because the heart is inner. The thinking is external. Now, do we understand why thinking is external? Is a mechanical? Thinking is a mechanical process. Is this clear? That it's not private. Thinking is not private. We don't have, in a way, private thoughts at all. At all. What we might think or record is our private story, as my private idea, my private finding, my private happening is not private at all. This is why we're meeting here and we're speaking about this topic whenever we meet, because it's the same topic all the time. Nothing is changing. There is no private life to anyone. There is no private story nor private name. And our thoughts, whatever comes to you, or you figure that this is a thinking, a thought that came into me, it is never, never private. Even those thoughts that are coming to us as uneasy thoughts, disturbing thoughts, they're not private. Therefore, we are able, what is the proof? All of us speaking of the same thing. So whenever something like this is coming, like disturbance, there is, in a way, a verse from Song of Songs. Simeni kechotam al libcha. Put me like as a seal on your heart. Because there is a seal of truth, of love, of unity with the infinite. There is no disturbances. This is why in many times when people are having like disturbing thoughts, and this is a common thing among all humans, there is a recommendation of doing something. Yes? Yes. I'll try to find it. 1 second. It's new to me. I'm trying to find. 1 second. 1 second. Yanis, can you help me, please? That the love is so strong. It says in Song of Songs, this is one of the verses. I don't have now access. 1 second, I'll try. 1 second. Here, I got it. This is Song of Songs 8:6. Yes, Song of Songs 8:6. Please, if you can pop it into the, put it here. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Who would like to read this verse? In English, even. Jill, would you like to read this verse for us? Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame.
Thank you so much for reading it to us.
Yeah. Oh,
So, why now? Why? Why there is here in the same verse, we hear about love and about envious? What is the relation between those two? Why the envious or jealousy is so strong as fire? What is the relation between love and envy or jealousy? Are they opposing each other? It's an open question. Do you remember once how we defined jealousy? Yes, excellent. Excellent. Envy is a kinetic movement, back and forth. It's just a hectic movement when someone has no peace. It's a tuck, 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 tuck. And therefore, those two topics are engaging in one verse. Once there is a seal of love on the heart or inside the heart, this kinetic disturbance thinking process is stopping, because this is so tough. And the envious or the jealousy, now in a way it comes here in the verse, and people thinking about human like feelings or sentiments. Let's say it's easier for people to see this like a romantic, they say, triangle, but it's not about this. It's about like if there is a foreign element in life. Because what is kinetic movement? Back and forth, this movement between two poles of duality. And it has no peace, and some people are being tortured. And it just takes people, in a way, it takes people from their inner peace, and it takes them out of their equanimity, the natural equanimity, like in a deep sleep. Therefore, there is a request here to put this seal of love upon the heart. Once it's there, there is a touch, there is a connection to this infinite peace. The kinetic movement stops. There is a term in English that says to take somebody out of their mind, out of their equanimity. How something like this can happen? By kinetic movement. the kinetic movement until there is no sense of equanimity inside. So to restore the sense of equanimity and peace, put me like a seal, set me as a seal upon your heart. Because whatever happens in life, and life can bring about all kinds of scenarios, all kinds of moments, and most of those scenarios or moments are, in a way, are surprising. Life is never expected. So there is, in a way, a tendency to jump off the seat and to be like very much engaged and to take it as absolute and to follow, let's say, what scenario brings us. Like, we might register this as very, very harmful or surprising or unexpected. And the tendency is to follow once even we see something. It happens also in the war that people are engaged with what they see and they think this is a kinetic movement, and they lose the sense of sovereignty, equanimity. So whatever happens, in a way, external happening, there is always equanimity, like a nest of peace that we are dwelling inside. We are not dwelling in external events. External event might be election somewhere, or even, sometimes people are sad, so sad that a football or basketball team lost, that they go into depression. For some people, it's something that happened to a relative or so, and they are, in a way, being curved from their center, and they think that they can help someone, withdraw them from deep waters. If someone that you know is in very, very deep waters, probably there is a reason for it. So the most recommended thing is just to accept that he or she needs those deep water and to accept it and not to lose, in a way, one's equanimity or peace upon it. Thank you, Cindy. Questions? Yanis, Fernando, Rodrigo, Jill, questions about this kinetic movement inside? It might have been related to stories that the brain is offering us regarding happenings from the past or things that happened to relatives of us or even to ourselves. It creates uneasiness, lack of peace. Yes. Chotam. Yes. Yes, yes. You see brain inside. Yes. You see mem and chet. Mem and chet are brain. Yes. Yes. That's true. You're right. Yes, and inside there is also tav and vav. Yes. Once there, yes. Yes. To have this recognition that there is a higher power. You can also unmute and speak, Rodrigo. What would you like to understand or to figure? Can you just ask? You can unmute and speak as well if it's possible. About the heart or about the brain or about the relation or about kinetic movement, it's not really clear. What are you asking about? Hello, Rodrigo, good morning. About to speak, I just clicked to authorize the channel.
Hello, can you hear me, Ati?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Ati. Thank you very much. And hello, Gil, Yanis, Fernando, and Cindy was here also. It's it's a pleasure to be here. It's very nice to hear you, Ati. And sometimes when I look some word in Hebrew, how can I say, of my attention, I just looking for the word and think what could, how can I say, what could be. Uh, the deepest meaning of this word, and I look, it's different. And now you bring to us this word Hotam, and I understand it's a seal or a symbol, something like that. And I never heard this word before, and I just started to meditate about this word and try to how can I say, some ideas, to get some ideas about these words. And I ask to you help me to clarify um, where we could uh, go with this word, what ideas we could associate it with this, uh, really the meaning of this um, Khotan, beyond, how can I say, the literal meaning, beyond the literal meaning, what relations we could do with this word, what ideas came to your mind when see this word. Just this, Eti. If you could help me, I appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you for asking. And even the way you express it, you already gave an answer. Khotam sounds like khatan, like a groom. Groom, like in a wedding. So, with whom do we mate? Who is our companionship? Our brain, which is a machine, thoughts which are running like crazy horses, or the companionship in a way is the groom, is the infinite. With whom do we walk? With finite machine, the brain. Each human brain is a finite machine. Like we go to the supermarket, we buy something on the shelf, it has some kind of a product, it has an expiring date. Also, the brain has an expiring date. It is limited in what the brain can catch, understand, process, stream to the body. So the question, with whom do we go? With this machine, this is a car, yes? Or with the infinite, which is in the heart. This is why he asks, Simeni kechotam alipcha, upon your heart. Because in a way there is a guarantee. What is the guarantee? In a moment when this kinetic movement starts, disturbances, thoughts, chasing thoughts, like horses. Today I saw a chapter about a horse that the horse was traumatized so much that he could not relate to people next to. He could not look into their eyes. He was jumping all the time. Of course, you cannot get close to the horse, put a saddle. He was really in stress. The horse. So if even the horse is in stress and jumping all over the place, and they had to ask for, to call the doctor to take care of the horse. So like the horse, also us, we are not that different. When this disturbance, let's say, process starts, and anything, by the way, can trigger this process. Sudden phone call from someone, a sudden stream of information, somehow memories, anything or something that happens really something happened to people around in the office or so. Anything can trigger it. And this is a wild process. And this beautiful verse, in a way, is saying something interesting. It is a wild process. There is no doubt about it at all. But what happens in the moment when it's happening? There is like a sense of drop it. It's not you who is thinking. It's not you who is moving now, like with this wild kinetic movement. It's not you who's seeing this scenario, whatever life brings. Just be inside. Inside is in the heart, and the heart is connected to infinite. There is no disturbance. So it's a beautiful, this verse is a beautiful remedy to all kinds of moments when we are convinced that what we see is the truth, or what we remember is the ultimate truth, or any experience that we have or our friends or our relatives crosses absolute truth. And it happens. And it happens. Just don't buy into it. Questions? Rodrigo, Fernando, Jill, Yanis. Yes, and why it says also as a seal. Yes. Yes. Where is the heart? Where is the heart? In a human body, in which place the heart is? Where is? On the left. Yes. And which the left arm with which sphere is associated with? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Abigail. The left arm, Fernando, the left arm is associated with Gevura, yes, overcome, Gevura. This is why also overcome. Yes, to overcome this moment. Don't believe that this is it. Whatever is crossing us is not the ultimate truth. So don't take it as ultimate. So overcome this moment and in a way concise yourself back to the nest inside. Don't believe, because once there is a kinetic movement, the kinetic movement, like a horse, it wants to break through walls. It wants to go out. Not just spontaneously, but impulse with impulse. So don't lose this, in a way, equanimity. This is why also on the arm, because in a way, the heart, yes, there is a relation between the heart and the left arm. What happens when there's a clinic situation, when people have stress in the heart? they will usually feel the left arm as well. There is a connection between the left arm and the heart. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Nothing worse this disturbances. It's not real. It's not real. Disturbing thoughts. And the best cure when those disturbing thoughts are coming, just do something that engage in a way the movement of hands. When we are engaged in movement and there's like a stream through the emotions, through the heart, through the hands, there is in a way relation to a current moment. And then there's a lot of peace coming. Now it's winter, but usually in the autumn, when there's still like last heat waves and the leaves are falling, usually I go to the bead shop. It came to be that it comes in the autumn. I don't know why. I don't have a clue. I really don't know why. And I find myself in the shop picking few beads. And I come at home, I come home and I sit and I arrange them like a bracelet, like different colors and different shapes and different materials, and I make like offering, like I said, it might work like this bracelet, it might work like a necklace, and sitting next to the table and just working with those beads, you can only put one bead at a time. You cannot do many things. You have to concentrate and to put the bead in its place. It gave me a lot of peace. I remember that. Now it's winter, so the activity is a bit different, but it is a great thing. It's just a great thing. It doesn't have to be the last shout. It doesn't have to appear, let's say, in I don't know, a fashion show or so, but just focusing on those things, it's great. So see when there's like disturbing thought process that people are not capable of doing something. This is a great test. If the thought is so disturbing, the hands cannot do something. And then it's good to do something. Because doing is simple. When I say doing, not that we are the doers, just the doing moves through us. It's like Erdung. You know what Erdung is? In electricity, you know what Erdung is? I don't know how to say this in English. Earthing, electricity. Have you heard? Electricity. No. Jill, can you unmute and speak? I would like to ask you something about electricity. Yes, Jill?
Okay, hello.
Hello, hello. Jill, when there's like electricity streaming, yes, in the house, there is also I don't know how to call it. Maybe it's
Is it
like
like
yes,
grounding?
grounding.
Yeah.
Yes, grounding. Finally, I remember the German word, but not the grounding. Grounding.
Yeah.
So whenever we have like disturbing thoughts, it's good to be active. And this activity, whether it's bead or cleaning something or sewing something or painting a wall or fixing the sink or cleaning the water pipe, whatever it is, this grounding is very, very positive. because the motion streams through the movement that the hands are engaged in, or the arms, and the thoughts are leaving like unwanted guests. This is grounding. Thank you so much, Jill, for the word. And those thoughts can appear anytime, in the morning, in the evening, at night, when we wake up suddenly from a dream, or just wake up because there's awakening, something is happening. But don't take it too seriously. It's just a call for grounding. And this is quite simple. Questions? Fernando, Rodrigo, Abigail, Yanis, Jill, questions? And don't get serious about whatever comes, because life here is quite short. Life here is not long as we think. So don't take anything too seriously. Yes, whatever comes, it's not that serious. Whatever the thoughts are, how do you say, offering us as a bait, it's a bait. It's not serious. Don't take it too hard. Now, who is experienced this life? Who is experienced this life? Who is experienced this life? Consciousness. When consciousness, yes? Who, me? Yes. Who, me? Yes. When the nomenon wants to be, yes, manifested, yes, therefore the who. Yes, me and me. Yes, who is the answer? Yes. Whenever something happens to you, like it or not, ask yourself, who is this one that this is happening to, him or to her? Yes, it is quite simple. Because when we ask this question, it pours a different light about everything. Who is the one who is experiencing night and day? Who is the one who is experiencing walking on the shore? And then we shall find very, very interesting answer. Because the who is something which is common to all humans. Who is something is not, but this term, yes, is referring to all humans. Who. In Hebrew, we say me, like who sat here? מי ישב פה? When we say or when we ask who in English, who sat here, we can only ask about the hidden. When we use the word who, WHO, this is referring to the hidden, not to the manifested, to the nomenon, to the source. So Jill has a private name. But who in Jill is the source? Yes? Fernando, yes, is experiencing life as a personal doer because there's a name attached to the action. But who in Fernando is referring to the infinite or to the nomenon or to the source? Yes? Yes, yes. So who referring to all of us? Not to a specific person. The names that we are carrying around is only to attach, yes, the doing to a certain kind of, so to speak, personality or mask. Yes? Is this understood? Because from the perspective of the infinite, there is no personal doer. Let's say there's drinking. So 100 people can drink water. And also, let's say, the birds and the kittens, there's drinking. There is no, in a way, distinction. There's only the verb of drinking. We say in English, in philosophy, the sages speak about hakoach hapoel, the acting power, what generates the action. Hakoach hapoel. That initiates the movement. So the same source that initiates the movement in us that we shall drink also works through birds, through kittens, and nature. So there is no specific drinker. There is drinking, or there is eating. There is no specific eater. Nature is eating. There is breathing, inhaling, exhaling. There is seeing. There is hearing. And when we're listening to those conversations, there is a lot of freedom in it because nothing from what the brain offers us as my life, as my story, exists in those conversations. Therefore, we experience a great freedom because life is just happening. There is hearing and there is seeing. There is drinking. There is walking. Once, I think before the corona started, there was an application that used to be, people used to download it, and this application used to count how many steps. And there was this idea that every man or woman should walk 10,000 steps every day. I don't know if you heard about it, if you practice this, if you download. Yes. So this, in a way, application suggests that there is a walker, because if you did not do every day 10,000 steps, you didn't walk. Yes? Yes. Yes. So all of those applications, they offer that there is this personal doer. And then If people are walking, yes, if people are walking only 9,000 steps, they are sad. They cannot go to sleep because they lack 1,000 steps. And they did not drink 2.5 liters of water. They cannot, you know. Yes, yes, all of those things, eat this and that, walk such and such, sleep such and such, all of those things, making people really miserable because we buy into this bait that we are the doers. We are not. There's drinking, there's seeing, there's walking. There is no private walker. There is no, how to say, in the book of, how to say, there is a special book, Jeans, when people are writing records. So there is not a record which is registered upon one man who is capable of walking. There isn't. There's just walking. And it's so simple because it takes the burden, so the responsibility, so to speak, because we are not responsible for anything. We're not. Though climate activists will say, yes, we are guilty in changing the climate and so, and all those things, really. Hallucination. Pure hallucination. We are not guilty and we are not the doers. And we are here for a while, so let's enjoy it. And don't take life so seriously because they're moving and chuck in one blink. They're moving. Yes, 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 Fernando. Pharaoh, yes, this is the thinking, disturbing thoughts. I need that someone will tell me how much to drink, how much to eat, and so on. To give me a menu for life. Yes, how to live according to the list. Ridiculous. And with this beautiful, in a way, message that we are not in charge or we are responsible of what is happening. We're just living here like guests and we can enjoy it because nothing is really dependent on us. Life is just moving through us like a river. With this beautiful message, I would like to thank each and every one of you for participating in this beautiful conversation. Wish you a very good week, good season, and see you as soon as possible. Toda and shalom. Thank you so much.